There was a time when Anthony Davis looked like the future of the position. A big who could guard on the perimeter, finish above the rim, and step out for mid-range jumpers. But if you've watched him closely lately, you've probably felt it too. Something is slipping. Not dramatically, not overnight, but possession by possession, the advantages that once made him elite are quietly eroding. The reasons are layered. 3 main threads: technical erosion, athletic decline, and a league that has changed around him. Every big man with a hint of perimeter skill gets the same origin story. He played guard as a kid, then he grew a foot overnight and moved inside. So the narrative goes, he has guard skills in a center's body, and in Davis's early career, you could see traces of it. A crossover here, a face-up drive there, but let's be honest about what that really meant. From the moment Davis became a star-level big, he played overwhelmingly off the ball. He was never a primary creator. His handle, his vision, and his ability to operate against set defenses were always more theoretical than functional. He probably did play guard as a kid, but once he became a tall player, that skill set stopped growing and never got real game application. It never truly materialized. And now, that already thin foundation is eroding further. His jumper was never elite, as he's added weight, lost separation ability, and gone through stretches where easy finishes are scarce. His shooting touch has drifted downward. His vision and ball security have always been average at best. He often doesn't see the dig defender coming from the weak side. And because his first step isn't what it used to be, those blind spots get punished more often. His passing reads, angles, and execution are limited. He can't make cross-court swings reliably, and as his jumper and separation have declined, defenders are less afraid of his dribble, so his passing limitations become more exposed. Face-up game, handle, vision, passing, Davis can do a little of everything, but none of it is good enough to carry him. And as his athleticism fades, those weaknesses get louder. Even in a league with LeBron, Giannis, and Wembanyama, Davis was once in that same physical tier. But that tier is starting to leave him behind. His game has always been physically demanding. On-ball drives rely on quickness and explosion. Off-ball movement depends on hip turns and burst. Post-ups against smaller defenders require pure strength and mass. Davis combined power, length, quickness, and fluidity in a way few bigs ever have. But as he's aged, added weight, and accumulated injuries, he's become slower. From last season onward, Davis gets beaten on the perimeter more often. He used to swallow guards whole, now they get by him. You could blame scheme or help defense, but the individual plays are piling up. And while his defense can still be propped up by system and teammates, his offense is losing something more permanent. Watch him on a pick and roll. The turn and burst after the screen are visibly slower. It can look as if Davis is moving at 0.75 speed while the game keeps its normal pace. His flexibility, quickness, and launch ability are fading. For a physical specimen, the first thing to go isn't straight line speed. It's the time and space needed to get from 0 to that speed. The runway gets longer, the window gets smaller. Davis has never been a great screener. His angles and rolls still show that guard background. He moves like someone who learned the position later. That means the ball handler's ability to manipulate the defense, or Davis's own ability to create separation and burst, is what makes or breaks the action. And that burst is diminishing. When you're operating at the same speed as everyone else, weaknesses that were once hidden become visible. Davis's physical prime overlapped perfectly with a specific NBA era. The stretch 4 was king. Teams played smaller, shooting-oriented power forwards, and centers were at a historical low point in terms of size and physicality. The league was fast, spaced, and light on interior contact. Davis could dominate at the 4 because he had size and strength advantages and quickness and mobility advantages. He could bully smaller 4s and also run past bigger ones. When his handle did not create the advantage, he could still manufacture points through offensive rebounds, cuts, putbacks, and post-ups against weaker defenders. The help defense from those smaller 4s rarely came with real physical disruption. So even though Davis's skill level was never elite, he could consistently piece together 28 or even 30 points in a lower contact environment. That era is over. The league has shifted back towards size and physicality. The 4 spot is now filled with players who combine strength, mobility, length, and toughness. The same skill set, the same body, it's harder now to scrape together production from those non-dribble possessions. And as we've already covered, both his skill and his body are declining. So here's the uncomfortable reality. Davis's offensive game is actually becoming less compatible with playing next to a true center. His perimeter jumper is not spacing the floor for anyone. In those earlier Lakers bench unit stretches, the jumper volume rose not because it unlocked the offense, but because the no-center environment made it harder for him to get inside. His outside shot was not a weapon, it was a fallback. Yes, playing the 4 still has benefits. A center absorbs contact, saves his legs, and improves his defensive mobility. But the 2024 playoffs showed the limit. A matchup in Aaron Gordon's tier was already difficult for Davis to solve. That is not just a scheme issue. It is what happens when the handle and athletic margin are no longer enough to create separation. Anthony Davis is still a very good player, but the gap between what he was and what he is now is growing, and the league isn't waiting for him to catch up. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.